Kelly Haggard and Ryan Hayes coming up from Synchrony, and Tom Buda is going to interview them or have a discussion with them right now. So come on up. Please help me welcome them.
Hello over there. Thank you all for being here. This is a really great session because they are going to be memorable experiences, and we're not only going to talk about them, but we're actually going to see them. So that's one of the best things I think about this session. So maybe just to get started, perhaps just do a little bit of a background,
Sure.
Jack, and give us your experience relative to what folks here might want to know.
Sure. So I've got about nearly 20 years experience now working in various fields in MarTech. 2.5 years now with Synchrony leading our mobile marketing channel, and working with Airship and Movable Inc. along those times. But it's always, I think it's always great to come here because there's so many shared partners and clients between Airship and Movable Inc. and Synchrony Banks. It's a fun time to be here.
For sure. Kelly?
Definitely. So I have been at Synchrony 8.5 years. I've been in the email space for over 20, and have been really excited to be the owner of the relationship with Movable Inc. and all the really cool things we've done. My title is Marketing Innovation, so I get to do, everybody says I get to do the fun stuff, but there's a lot of problem solving that comes with that.
Great. Well, welcome both of you. So I'm Tom Buda. I'm the Chief Strategy and Marketing Officer for Airship, and we work really closely with Synchrony. Ryan's actually a member of our Customer Advisory Board. I've been a member of the time when I was the youngest guy in the room, but I find myself with a lot of experience these days, having led big transformations at a lot of SaaS companies, and Airship is one I've been with now for about 3 years.
Right.
Awesome.
You want to talk a little bit about Synchrony? I mean,
Sure.
People don't know. Maybe they've seen the ads on ESPN or what have you. But tell us about Synchrony.
Sure. So just informal live poll. Who in the room has a Synchrony account currently? All right, got
cool.
quite a few of you. Awesome.
Yeah, that's great.
So Synchrony has been around for what's actually 90 years this year. Huge customer base. We provide primarily retail credit for retailers, private label cards, but we also have a number of our own products. And one of them that we're going to be talking about primarily today is our Care Credit product. And we have 3 different mobile apps that we manage, Care Credit being one of them, My Synchrony and Synchrony Bank being the other 2. But Care Credit, with it being that owned brand and a dedicated app, we get to experiment a lot more and try out a lot of different use cases and capabilities with both Airship and Movable Inc. So it's a great chance for us to do things that haven't been done before and see how they work out.
Kelly, do you want to add anything to that, or?
No, I mean, we were very excited when, I think it was at a previous Think Summit when they announced that they were going into mobile and that Airship was going to be a key partner and that this capability was coming. So when Ryan joined, it was a great opportunity for us to really look at what we were doing and where we could take it.
Cool. So maybe a little bit about Airship. So Airship has been in business for 15 years. Our roots are in mobile. We did the first ever push notification. Those of you that are actually being mandated now to have your mobile boarding pass right through Wallet, we did the first one of those. We were live with live activities the day it was announced by Apple. We were live with Google just 3 weeks ago in terms of now Google being able to have push notifications in their wallet, the way you've been able to do with Apple. But we've expanded well beyond that, so we're a full customer experience platform, and I think our roots in mobile give us a bit of an advantage because it's a unique medium to work within. So, and then I think you've heard a lot about Movable Inc. At this conference. I think you all know it, but there's really a great 3-way partnership here where we've we'll show you a little bit later some really great examples of how we bring the three parties together. All right, so maybe we just get started on our talk here. You have a great job, Kelly. Great job title in innovation. No pressure, right? But certainly we've seen a lot of innovation in the financial services space, especially as it relates to technology-enabled customer experience. People never forget how you make them feel, right? So experience is the new brand. How are you seeing experience? How do you think about that?
We have a focus on customer and their experiences first. So when we look at any changes or things that we want to test out, one of the key areas we evaluate is how does it enhance the customer experience? How does it remove friction? How does it deliver a better, more seamless process for our customers to follow? And so we score kind of across a few different areas, and I would say it's very heavily weighted on making sure that we deliver the best customer experience available.
So obviously data is critical to knowing more about customers. How do you analyze data? How do you work with data?
Well, I mean, the keys to a lot of the personalization are being able to take the data signals. So understanding the data that's available across all the systems, and then what data points are going to create a more hyper-personalized experience for our customers, and really deliver on the fact that we know you, we understand you, and so we're going to give you an elevated experience with the information that we have. So it's just tapping into all of those data signals and any extra data that we might have captured through their interactions with Movable Ink, and really bringing that to life in our email and mobile channel.
So we do Airship does a survey of about 11,000 mobile consumers every year. And one of the things that we know from that survey is because we're all consumers, right? We are willing to share a lot of information in exchange for value. But that exchange, that reciprocal exchange of value has a lot of responsibility. So how do you manage through that?
It's all about trust. So we love to use the Movable Ink live polling feature and ask our customers specific questions. What are you feeling? What are you thinking about? And taking that information and activating follow-up communications off of that. We can look at, we can take what we know about them, like channel propensity. Is email a better channel? Is mobile? Is it a combination of the two? And deliver that back. I like to think about it, I was the Chewy presentation earlier, like if you tell me that you're a dog person and not a cat person, and I follow up with a communication all about cats, then I have sort of violated a little bit of my relationship with you, because the expectations are I'm going to deliver the personalization based off of what you told me. And the risk behind that is, I mean, it could be something as severe as an unsubscribe, and then I can no longer talk to you. So you have to be very deliberate and again, take that trust that they've given in you and make sure that you take that information and personalize their experience.
Yeah, that's a really great way of describing that challenge. Ryan, so you're completely focused on mobile, right? Again, we see through public company earnings calls, mobile app customers are typically worth 3 to 4 times all other customers. So that's a gold mine, yeah, right? But it's also, has to be done well, based on what Kelly just shared. So how are you using mobile?
So I think, there's a number of ways we use mobile as marketing. I think one example, just if we go into how we've used it with Movable Ink, one example is our podcast series. Anyone who was here last year and attended our mobile session at the end of the conference probably heard about our podcast series. I think we actually got out of order here. So the one I wanted to start with is our live stream that we did with the podcast. So in this case, we used Movable Ink to do a add to calendar button within a message center message. So a week before the live stream event was going to be happening, we sent a message center message that had add to calendar. That calendar event would add right into their calendar and with a reminder and a link to view the live stream when it went live. And then we added on to that of when the live stream actually happened. If for users that had opted in for marketing push notifications, we sent a push to them saying, it's live now, click to go watch. Or if they open the app during the live stream, one of the things that we did is we did an Airship in-app automation and embedded the YouTube video player within that in-app automation. So once you open the app and logged in, during that hour-long session, you were able to watch the live stream right there, or you could click out to YouTube if you wanted to ask your own questions. So we had a sleep expert from one of our partners, Sleep Number, who was being interviewed about all sorts of questions related to sleep, and you could jump in and join the conversation.
Live.
Yeah. And we've done a number of different live streams, and we've tried different combinations of technologies to promote them. And this one, 7x over lift in views over some of the other techniques that we had tried. So it was really a great experience for us.
Well, and no pressure when it's live, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's great that you had the confidence in the teamwork, right, to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's a great example. I think we have another example we're going to show here in a minute. So coming back to the conversation we started with on data and how important capturing data is, the best kind of data, first-party data, zero-party data, is when the customer actually gives you their information directly, right? So how are you leveraging that today? What kinds of things are you doing?
Yeah, so I kind of gave it away here, but one of the ways that we've done it is using Movable Links live polling. And mobile app provides so much power, and we heard it this morning. It was very exciting stuff, but provides so much power over channels like email, where you're constrained by what all the different email clients will support. How terrible is this going to look in Outlook? There's so many things that you're constrained by when you're dealing with email, and Movable Links created all these great solutions for it, but there's still so much more that we can do when we're in app. We can create interactive experiences where what you would do with a landing page. Like if you were to be able to build a landing page to do exactly what you wanted, you can do that in app. And so what we did in this case. Again, that podcast series has been a huge success for us. And last year, we took the top 5 episodes of the year that most listened to, and we turned them into a poll so that we sent a message center message, dynamically populated with those 5 episodes. You could listen to them. You could listen to each of the episodes if you had missed them, and then this is actually a web form, so each vote button was like a radio button on a form, and selecting the one you want to vote for, submitting it, and then we don't have it here, but it would reload that content block with the results. So behind the scenes, we were triggering the live poll just like you would do if you had clicked through an email, but it was recording that vote with MI, and then we were also tagging the device with Airship, so that if you came back to that message at a later time, we would show you the results screen every time. And we could use that tag again for retargeting or reporting on who had participated in the poll. So it was a really cool interactive experience. Apparently now I'm not going to have to do it with all that coding, so this is really exciting.
Yeah, no code makes a lot of difference, right? All right, so we've seen some great examples. You guys are knee-deep in innovation. There's got to be things, though, that you believe might be undervalued. So is there call it a marketing platform, that you believe is really not reached its potential yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mobile Wallet has so much capability that's really untapped for a lot of clients, a lot of brands, a lot of industries. I think so much of us think of mobile wallet as the payment methods that are all at the top, tap to pay and all of that. But there's this whole world of opportunity in the wallet passes in the lower section that we can do so much with. And the pandemic years just absolutely blew up adoption of mobile wallet. So we're all used to now getting our concert tickets, our boarding passes, all of that saved into our mobile wallet, but you can do really anything with it. If it's great if you got a barcode to go along with it or something like that, but you don't have to. And it's a lot, depending upon what your relationship is with the consumer, it's a lot easier to get them to save a pass into an app that they already have than to download another app and create an account and do whatever it is that they have to do there. And again, the push notifications that you can do through Apple Wallet has been for quite some time, and now with Google Wallet as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about it. It's the only platform where everyone has it.
Yeah.
Right? It comes pre-installed, right? It's pretty amazing from that perspective. So I agree with you. Kelly, do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, I think there's a lot. We see some of the brands doing it, but when I think about the opportunity for us as a financing company, I think there's just a lot of opportunity of where we can take it.
Yeah. So you've got a big toolkit. Is there something that's potentially, undervalued, an asset that you have to work with in your mind?
I mean, I just think there's so many data points out there, and when we think about activating against Movable Ink is accessing those data points. So any of the there's opportunities that exist for any of those disparate systems. So maybe there's a loyalty platform that kind of sits off to the side. We can tap into it, but it's not flowing into the regular files. I think there's an opportunity to blow it out of the water, right? Being able to take that stuff to the next level and activate all of the data that we have. Anything that's it goes back again to that customer experience. Like, you can activate data for the sake of activating data, but what are you going to give to them? What's in it for them? You're going to give them a better connection to real-time certificates that they have, maybe that they've earned off of their loyalty points. And so it's really the action of having it all come together, that mobile wallet and all of the data points and the other tools, and say how do we make this something that hasn't been done before?
So there are a lot of signals, and trying to make sense of all of that is a huge challenge. So maybe a last question. When you think about the destination that we all have and where we go to interact with a brand, there's a physical environment. It could be a store, it could be a venue. There's the app. Mm-hmm. There's the website. And then there's all these communications channels, SMS, email, etc. How do you think about those, the relationship between them? Do you treat them all the same, relative to the customer experience, or do you think about them differently? Like, for example, the app versus, say, app and SMS versus, mm-hmm. say, email. I mean, how do you think about those?
You have to think about them differently. I mean, just what we were talking about earlier. I mean, there's so much more that you can do in an owned environment, and you have to think bigger than what your constraints might be from another channel. I think MI and Airship make great capabilities to get the most out of all those channels, but you have to think beyond what you're saying. I mean, being here and amongst all these marketers and seeing these examples and everything, my head's just spinning of what the next thing can be. But you have to treat them differently. Yeah. There's more to it.
And I would just say, we were having this conversation also, I can send you 10 emails a day. I can't send you 10 messages in your app inbox. So there's there's a little bit of delicacy of how I communicate to you in that channel, because it's very easy for me to hit delete on the app. And again, then I can't communicate to you. So the messages are a little bit more deliberate and need a little bit more care when you think about what you're going to communicate to them through the app. It's like they've downloaded it and they've raised their hand and said, this is important to me. And so for me to go in and batch blast you a bunch of emails isn't going to be effective.
Yeah. Well, we're out of time. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for sharing your insights and working closely with both of our companies.
Thank you.